Hi guys, Emily here again today. I promise you will see from my altars again soon. It's just been topics that I've wanted to talk about recently. So sorry about that, but it is Emily again today. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about how our lives have changed since having my diagnosis. I believe I've said something similar about this in the past. But I wanted to come on here and talk about how things have gotten better for me, for us as a system. So, first of all, it's having a diagnosis, having a written document from a professional really helps us mentally with the fact that these days now, I'm not thinking that I'm making it up anymore. I don't feel like it's fake. I don't feel like, I believe it, and I haven't questioned myself for a while. So that really helps with my depression personally, because it's not a way in. So my depression has like little things that it likes to niggle at that I agree with, which then it can sort of like get worse and worse. But that is now not a thing it can use to get to me. So that's a bonus. It also helps having that sort of written side of things, so that one, I believe it truly, fully throughout all of me, which I did anyway, obviously, but it's again just another way to help combat mental conflict. But also now I find it a lot easier to tell people that I have dissociative identity disorder, and if they would be interested in meeting any of my alters. It's been really, really wonderful that the vast majority, if not almost everyone who I've told, has been really supportive and has made the effort to, in some ways, sort of show that they acknowledge it. Some people, a lot of people, if they're not certain who is currently out, who is currently fronting, will call us Miri or Myriad, but usually Miri because it's a bit shorter and easier and sounds more like a name. Some of my family, in fact, have occasionally said Miri, and that means so much to us because it means that my alters feel acknowledged. They feel like people know that they're real and that they're separate people, and it feels so good for all of us to feel wanted and that we're not just shoved aside. That has been really, really a brilliant feeling for all of us, not just me, for all of my alters to feel cared about and that they are seen, That's been so lovely. So that's not just thanks to my diagnosis, that's thanks to everybody who has treated us so kindly. It's also given a number of my alters more confidence. As you know, it seems to have brought Peter back from hiding, or wherever he was dormant. He's come back, and it's made a lot, like I say, some of my alters more confident to say, hi, I'm real, could I maybe hang out with you? A lot of them are still very shy. So Felix and Autumn are still very, very shy about speaking to people. They're probably just more internal alters. But there are some that have asked me to, and other people that they want to interact with, if they would want to meet them. They've met friends that I know would want to meet them. I would never, say to somebody that only knows me as Emily, I would never say to them, oh right, here's all my other alters, get meeting them, because that's not really very fair, and it has to be on their terms too. So my alters have met those who are interested or would be happy to meet them. So for example, Ren played board games with my D&D friends, and that is massive. That's a massive change, and it's really wonderful because now a lot of my alters feel like they're seen, they feel like real people, and they can have, in some ways, small little ways, have their own life. And that makes all of us happy, because when one person feels very fulfilled, recognised and happy, that affects all of us. So the fact that Ren was able to have that time playing board games, I was there, sat in the background, just being so happy for them. And the two friends that met them were also really happy, and it's just brilliant. It's just so nice that they get to experience the world in more ways. They're even more confident in just being out around town, or being out that if anybody asked them their name, they would say their name, unless, you know, it was more legal or more like form side of things. You know, if it had to be my name, they would use my name, but if they're just talking to people, they would use their own name. And it's just, seemingly it's just been a massive confidence boost. And having that written document, having my friends, having my family say myriad, or how are, you know, all of you, asking about them, and, you know, just small things that matter so much to us. You know, just, it's hard to explain how much it really means to us, but everybody who's been mentioned or asked about, or if anybody's called us Miri, it just means so much. It's been really lovely. I'm just going to quickly apologise if the light's been changing a lot. I'm just using sunlight, so bear that in mind. But yeah, mentally we are happier, consistently more happier. And also, again, my depression is slightly less, because I'm not constantly arguing with myself, saying that it's real, it's not real. I'm also a lot more open to having my alters meet people. I'm also not ashamed of it anymore. I don't feel bad or feel like I'm attention seeking, or any of these, again, negative ways that my depression would try and attack me. Because I know it's a thing. I've felt more part of a community, so I have watched a lot more DID creators on YouTube and on TikTok, and even though in the past I would say that can't be me, I don't identify with those things, I now know that you don't have to identify with every single thing as part of a disorder to have it. So I might not experience dissociative amnesia the same way other people do, but that doesn't mean I don't have DID. And the last thing that's quite interesting is that I'm currently working on trying to get some kind of therapy for my depression and anxiety. But when I spoke to the lady who diagnosed me, she said that if you do work with things like that, you'll have to tell your therapist about your alters, because you have to work together, because it's not just my depression, it's our depression. You know, we all work together as a system, so any of these problems that we have, we need to look at as a whole. So being talked to in the sort of interview stage to find out what the best therapy would be, having strangers, professionals, in a silly way, my brain says real people, so not just friends, real people, but professionals ask about some of my alters. That hits in a completely different way, because then they feel like so validated. When anybody says any of them by name or asks about any of them, you know, like, what are Peter's interests? What does Peter feel about drawing? You know, like, does he like drawing freehand or any of these things? You know, like, how does Ashley feel about the weather? What's her favourite time of year? All of these little things make them feel so welcome and not exactly wanted, but that they're not unwanted. And that's just, it feels so nice to me, even though I'm not the one that's, you know, experiencing these things directly, because I can just feel how comfortable and happy they all are. I mean, obviously, we still have struggles, we still have difficulties, and each of us have got our own things going on, and there will still be good days and bad days, but to feel validated and to feel considered is absolutely massive, and that's not something that we've had before. Throughout our life, it's been hiding them and pretending they're not real, never sharing them with anyone apart from, you know, 2 people. It's been sort of unpleasant for them, and it's just night and day, the difference between in the past and now. Having people that care about them as individuals has just been so nice. And I know that it sounds weird that I'm the one talking about it, but I think I get the positive feeling from all of them. I mean, they would all be saying the same thing, so I'm just the mouthpiece of that, which has then also made me happy. So it's just a big ball of happiness and appreciation of all of you, anybody who has ever called us Miri, anybody who has ever asked about any of them as individuals. It means the world to them, and that means the world to me. Yeah, I mean, that's about all I want to say. The biggest things that have changed since getting my diagnosis, the fact that, you know, they're more happy to come out and speak to people. They're quite excited to meet other people. For example, I think my cousin would like to meet them. It's just a whole other world for them. You know, I live my life every day in the world, you know, meeting and talking to people and being cared about, you know, going out and doing activities, whereas they don't. But now they're starting to, and they are starting to be considered, and they are starting to be, you know, wanted to be talked to and treated as a real person. And it's just nice. Again, this has been a bit of a ramble, but this might not be the same for every system. It's just the way it is for us, the way I have accepted all of them, and we've tried to make everybody feel as at home and comfortable as possible. That for us has worked really, really well, and when everybody's been as happy as possible, that has helped me be happy. It's been the best sort of like therapy, and it is part of the way of treating DID is to get everybody in the system to be cohesive. So it's worked really well for us so far, and it's just going in a really good way. So yeah, again, this is just our experience. I really hope you enjoyed watching this, a bit more of a positive one. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to comment with any questions, any thoughts, or anything you've had about any of my videos. You can make like requests of who you'd like to do a video. If you miss Peter, or if you want to have a video from Lucy or anybody, please feel free to do that. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I really hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.